Hey, welcome back to another edition of Open Shutter. I have the pleasure of welcoming Tian to the program. Thanks so much for taking the time, Tian, and jumping on this thing.
Thanks for having me. It's great.
Yeah, for sure. We can dive right in. I'm not sure where you want to start, but like, what do you want people to like know about you, kind of thing?
Sure, I'll start with a little introduction about what I'm doing, and maybe I'll get into a bit of how I got into photography.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So I am a photographer, painter, yoga teacher, and I'm a manager of vocational college here in Toronto. So
Okay,
I do lots of things.
nice.
Um, and in terms of photography, I'd say I'm mostly a travel photographer.
Hmm.
I enjoy landscape, cityscape, been dabbling in some wildlife as well, which has been a lot of fun.
Cool.
And yeah, I've been really enjoying. We've had some beautiful scenery here in Toronto this winter.
Yeah,
Uh, got out onto the islands last weekend and
good for
enjoyed
you. Good for
photographing
you.
people walking on the ice, which I did not brave, but it made
I'm
for
I'm
great.
too I'm, I'm too scared for that.
Yeah.
I don't
The
trust the ice.
subject matter
Yeah,
for photography, that's for sure. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and yeah, in terms of how I got into photography, it's been a long time. I was always into the arts. In terms of my artistic practice, I started with painting. So I was about
Yeah.
8 years old when I started oil painting, and my parents saw that I had some talent in the arts, so they definitely fostered that. They put me in classes, and my father was actually a hobbyist photographer when he was younger, and he pulled out an album, and I was looking at his film work, and I was really
Yeah.
inspired by his long exposures and his double exposures, and
Right.
he was really experimental with film, and that sort of sparked my interest. So when high school started, now this was the early 2000s, so we were still shooting film back then, and my high school had a dark room and a
Yeah.
photography program.
Yeah.
So I got into that and working in film and working in the dark room, and that really sparked my interest, and I knew it was something I wanted to continue.
Mhm.
So when it came time for post-secondary school, I wanted to continue with my artistic practice, and I ended up going to York University for the Bachelor of Fine Arts program,
Yeah.
and I majored in painting and photography. And first year photography was pretty general class. They give you assignments and you just head out there into the field and take photos, and there'd be critiques. And then second year um, got a little more serious. You get to pick your stream. And, we're talking, this was around 2005. So again, digital was still not, it was just sort of becoming a thing, right?
Mhm.
And I knew I wanted to continue with photography, but my experience with the dark room in high school and those chemicals, it was not something I was sure I wanted to continue because of the smell and the headaches that you would get
Mhm.
in that room. You'd be in there for hours, right?
Yeah.
Processing and then painting with the chemicals on it was a
Right,
really
right.
involved process. And yeah, some of us, I remember talking to some fellow students, were like, man, like the smell of these chemicals is really getting to us. Like
Yeah.
maybe we can take a look at doing digital, because the first
Mm.
digital SLRs were starting to come out around this time. And my father took me to the Toronto Photography Show at the convention center, and
Yeah.
he wanted to buy me a camera. And the first, those are the first DSLRs were coming out then, and I was going around to the different booths and picking up the cameras and experimenting with them. And we didn't have a huge budget. I wasn't going for anything full frame. I mean, back then, like a full frame DSLR, like you're probably looking at like $5,000
Yeah, oh, yeah.
to include a lens in there. I'm just a student, so we were
Yeah.
looking at, the Rebel series, the Canon cameras, and I ended up picking up my first DSLR. And I remember having to go to my professor and being like, "Can I please shoot digital instead of film?" And
Yeah.
she was very skeptical about it, like digital. There was still a stigma around
Yeah.
digital
Aren't you an
photography.
artist? Aren't you an artist? You want to do film,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
much like how this stigma about post processing on the computer is now.
Right.
Back then, it was just like digital. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
there was some apprehension around it, but she allowed me to use it, and yeah, the rest is history. It was like a 10
Wow.
megapixel Canon Rebel with a kit lens, like 1855. But I got some great photos with that thing, and I had so much fun experimenting. And in my early 20s, I started to travel. It's like my
Yeah.
first trips without my parents, right? So
Yeah.
exciting, going to
Yeah.
Europe and
Yeah.
Paris like ignited that spark. It's so beautiful, and having fun with
Yeah.
my tripod, taking long exposures on the streets. And yeah, that really made me realize this is something I want to keep doing. And so I kept at painting and photography. And I had ebbs and flows. I knew that it wasn't something that I wanted to make a full-time career from, just
Mhm.
because art is so emotional for me,
Mhm.
when it comes to painting or photography. It's the most joyful thing I do, but it can also be the most painful. When you have like a bad day with your photography and it's just like nothing seems to be coming out right, and it's just I would become so devastated by it. I'm like, I've lost my spark. I can't do it anymore. It's
Yeah.
over. I'd have like a breakdown, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
pick up the camera for like months and months. And I
Right.
knew, I'm like, you know what? This is not going to be your full-time job. You have lots of other interests that you can pursue. But this
Yeah.
is something that you are going to want to do for joy. And so that's what I did. So I kept at it. And I would leave it sometimes. I would go, I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling a painter these days. So I would just like dive completely into painting and then leave the camera for months at a time. And then
Yeah.
one day you wake up and it switches. It's like, all right, like let's pack up the camera, let's get out there. I'm ready to do some photography.
Yeah.
Um, and
Cool.
just sort of letting my creativity guide me into what I want to do. And yeah, in those early days, graduating from university, I have a friend. She's a very accomplished wedding photographer. She's like, "Why don't you come second shooting at some events for
Mhm.
me?" So I did engagements, bat
Wow.
mitzvahs, dabbled in that, and
Yeah.
that made me realize that that was definitely not the kind of photography that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that didn't spark any joy in me. That was yeah, that I found that photographing people and trying to engage with people and corralling them all up
Well,
and
it's
making
more work, right?
those.
It's more
Yeah,
work versus like art. It's a different thing.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
different thing
exactly.
like altogether, right?
Exactly. I
Yeah.
found, yeah, I'm definitely what I love about photography, especially landscape photography, is the solitude,
Yeah.
those moments with yourself. Um,
Mhm.
and being around a bunch of people and trying to photograph is just like, yeah, this is definitely not for me.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
that's when I knew, I'm like, yeah, this is the direction I want to go, for
Well, it's
sure.
good to it's well, I mean, it's good to know where you wanna land, right? Just so at least you know where to focus your skills and energy because, also with, like, art, like, painting or doing photos, like, it's all art in the end. It's all about, like, making stuff for yourself, right? That's why doing weddings, it's not about you, it's about the client. That's
Yeah.
why it's so different,
Yeah. High
you know?
pressure, really high
High
pressure.
pressure, you need to perform, you don't have a second chance,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
it's a different ballgame, right?
Mhm. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, so through my 20s, continued to shoot. In my early 30s, slightly upgraded my camera. to a step up above a
Yeah.
rebel.
Yeah.
And yes, still shooting APS-C,
Okay.
and really, but by the time I hit my mid 30s, like I'm going to be turning 40 this year, but the time I hit my mid 30s, I'm like, I really need to get serious here. I felt like I was stagnating, wasn't
Mhm.
really improving my skills. And I had a
Mhm.
lot of
Mm.
something that people might be surprised about in terms of arts education in university is it's that practical component. Was I remember one of my photography classes, there was a particular shot that I wanted to get downtown, and I wasn't sure exactly what settings would be needed. Like, how, okay, uh, interesting. I'm only
Right.
paying like $5,000 a year to
Why?
be
Why would
here.
that why would that person say that? It's so strange.
And that was my experience throughout university, like very little
Wow.
technical knowledge and painting as well. It was mostly just, here's your assignment. You're going to sit
Yeah.
in the studio for 4 hours. You're going to paint. The professor's going to come around and take a look at what you're doing, like judging. And then you have the critique, and you
Right.
don't really learn much, right?
Yeah.
So I
Interesting.
graduated university feeling like, okay, there's a lot of holes in my knowledge here. What I know is from my own experimentation.
Yeah.
How am I going to learn more? And it wasn't until my mid 30s, I'm like, need to get really serious here. I'm not great at learning from a book. Like I
Mm.
pursued photography books, and, it's just a lot of words, a lot of numbers, and trying to contextualize that I found very challenging.
Yeah.
But then I discovered the rich array of content on YouTube, and
Yeah.
amazing educational videos that other
Yeah.
photographers are making that are entertaining but really informative. And being able to see what they're creating and them sharing what their settings were, and actually really beginning to understand, okay, this focal length is going to help me achieve this particular look, and this shutter speed is going to, and really starting to actually see that come to life. I mean, I had great professors in university, but the work that they did and that we were encouraged to do was very conceptual.
Okay.
Um, and it wasn't really the type of work that I wanted to pursue, like what they call my work. My work is commercial, right? It's the type of work that someone may want to put up on their wall, and they said that in a derogatory way. But for me, I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. For me, there's no greater compliment than somebody seeing your piece and wanting to buy it and putting it up in their home, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh,
So yeah, filling in those holes in my knowledge.
yeah.
That's what I, for several years, I pursued that, and I'm like, I'm going to master the camera I have now before I upgrade. I'm going to push this tool as far as I can. And once I've done that, then I know I'm ready to take the next step and spend the money and upgrade my equipment. And now
Yeah.
that I know what kind of photographer I am and what I'm trying to achieve, I can actually make an educated purchase in
Yeah.
that sense.
Because you know what you want.
Yeah,
Or you know what you need anyway.
yeah,
Need versus want are two very
yeah,
different things, right? In terms of gear, like we all want the latest and greatest, but like what do you actually need? So
yes,
different.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
my
what
my
so yeah, go ahead, sorry.
no, I was gonna say, like, my first Rebel camera, that 10 megapixel. I mean, our phones are way more powerful than that now. But if you know how to use your tool, you can still take incredible photos and make
Yeah,
amazing art with it, right?
of
So
course. Yeah.
yeah,
Also, like your eye too is so important. Like being able to capture stuff, like because like to me, it's like no one really asked, "Oh, did you shoot that on a crop sensor?" Like no one really asked that.
yeah,
It's more about like, "Hey, cool photo," or like, I like how you framed that," or like, "I like what you did with the layer, the shadows." Like so much is like just being able to like see stuff with like your eye, right? Because
yeah,
I don't know, like sometimes you walk down the street, you just see photos as you walk down the street
yeah,
because
exactly.
that's how like your brain works, right? You just see things, right? So like the eye is also so very important.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love photography and painting, because it forces you to really engage with your surroundings.
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
makes you see things and stop and consider something. And yeah, that's why I love it. I don't know if it's like what came first, chicken or the egg? Do you have that artistic tendency because you're more prone to being very observant, or
Yeah.
does the act of creating make you observant? I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah, I like that. I think that should have been a t-shirt. Yeah, I like that one. That's a good question. I
Good
like
quote.
it. It's a good question for the bar, you know? It's like, "Oh, I don't know, geez." Like, yeah, I know, to me, it's like, you need to be able to me, it's all about just being consistent
Yeah,
with whatever the thing is, like painting, could be like photos, it could be video, it could be like drawing, like whatever the thing is, like just be consistent with it, because if you're consistent, then your brain is going to just be using that muscle more, right? So, and if you're not consistent, then it's harder for you to kind of be in that groove, because you're not used to being in that place all the time, right? So,
exactly. And yeah,
right?
I think as I've gotten older, I talked about before having those like meltdowns when you have like a bad day of painting photography. You're like, oh no, that's it. I've lost my
Yeah,
talent is gone. It's over,
yeah,
and that
yeah,
pain that comes with it, and then dropping it for months at a time. I've gotten better at, because I have that experience. It's like, no, you didn't lose it. You're having a bad day. You're having a bad week. You didn't
yeah,
lose anything. Keep at it, and it will come back. And it's
yeah,
normal to create work that you look at and be like, okay, this sucks. That's part of the creative process. If you're not
yeah,
creating stuff that sucks, then you're not experimenting enough, right?
yeah, of course.
So knowing that now, I'm able to keep at it, be more consistent, and
Yeah,
keep practicing. It's a practice, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to get better at now these days?
I'm trying to get better at wildlife, which is
Oh,
challenging because
interesting.
so I live in North Toronto, and I live near a park
Yeah.
that is a hot spot for birds. We got
Mm.
owls, migratory birds. We got coyotes too. So I've had the pleasure to shoot all of them. Now,
Yeah.
because I'm a travel photographer, my gear, when I purchased my new kit a few years ago, I'm no
Yeah.
longer shooting on Canon. I'm on Fujifilm now. I've got an X-T5,
Nice. Oh, nice.
and I've got on the wide end for wider landscapes, I've got the Sigma 10 to 18. It's a great little lens with a fixed aperture, 2.8, really nice and sharp. And then I have an 18 to 300 stick. And something I consider when I made my purchase, be flying on planes. I need something that I have large, cumbersome gear. I know I'm going to be less likely to bring it out with the lens I use for my 18 to 300.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and so it's, on an APS-C, you're maybe looking at 400 millimeters, which is not too bad if you can get close enough, like a 6, right? So, really challenging to work with. Wildlife, I love shooting it, but is it the thing I'm going to be shooting the most? No. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to consider that I need that versatility. So if, there is wildlife, I'll still be able to shoot it and get a decent shot. And
Yeah.
with the Fujifilm X-T5, because it's got something like 50 megapixels, I now have that cropping power, right? So I can
Yeah.
crop it and not lose too much resolution. So that informed my gear purchase
Makes sense.
years ago. Yeah. So yeah, I've been enjoying dabbling with wildlife. I've been made quite a few trips out to the Rockies. Since
Yeah.
2020,
Like,
as you can see, I
yeah,
keep
jeez.
going back to the Rockies.
Rockies keep calling you back.
They keep calling me back every time. I'm like, I'm gonna go somewhere different. I can't get them out of my head. It's an intoxicating place.
Yeah.
It, it's it's a place where you can find obviously, Banff National Park, it's touristy and there's a lot of people, but you can still find those moments of peace to yourself, like that shot I took at Bow Lake. I was there alone that morning. It it was just lovely. And went to Lake O'Hara in September on a workshop with a landscape photographer named Nick Fitzharding. This is the second workshop I've done with him. He's fantastic. That was an amazing experience. Yeah, it's going out to the Rockies really opened up a whole new world of photography to me. And the mountains are beautiful and challenging. You know, from living in Ontario, it's not
we're not used to it. We're not used to that kind of setting.
No,
you know.
No, it's completely different. And the first time I went out there and I was shooting, I was like, okay. I'm like, this is interesting. I thought, you know, big, beautiful mountain vistas, this is going to be easy. And I found it really quite challenging. And that's what actually started to get me thinking. I'm like, okay, what am I have a vision in my head and I'm not able to achieve it. I'm like, what do I need to know here? And that's where those YouTube photographers came in. And I really started to deep dive into the technical aspects of the craft. Definitely noticed some improvement since my first out there. But I'm still definitely learning. The Rockies, it's crazy, right? Because the weather conditions changed like a snap of a finger. I was driving down this road in Kananaskis. It's pictured in a couple of the shots here. And the light just kept changing. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden, like the clouds open up and the sun is just beaming down on these aspens and they're just glowing yellow. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm like, I have to pull over and try and find a spot to pull over.
It's like a movie. It's like you're in a movie all of a sudden.
Exactly. It's like, oh my God, the pressure's on. Swing the car around and I find a spot to pull over. I grab my camera, get the gear out, and I come outside, and then cloud, and just like that light was gone. You're just like, oh, and you wait, right? You wait, you hope the light comes back. And you wait, and inevitably it doesn't. And I had another one of those heartbreak moments in Banff, actually, Lake Louise, back in 2022. Me and a fellow friend who was on a workshop with me, it was at the end of the workshop, and we decided to go to Morant's Curve. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a famous spot to take pictures. The mountains, and then there's the CN rail track. And, you know, trains come by usually about every half an hour, and it's a great spot to get a long exposure, right? With Temple Mountain in the background. So it was like -20. And we waited for nearly an hour for this train. And, you know, we literally were developing frost snip, and we're like, you know what? I think we're going to have to call it, because I don't think this train is coming. We get in the car, we pack up. I'm about to drive away, and I see these bright lights like shining in my rearview mirror. I'm like, oh, what's that? And then we hear the train just blast by. Like, oh God.
Did that suck or what? Did that suck or what?
That's part of the landscape and wildlife photography experience, for sure. There's no avoiding those heartbreaks.
You got to go do it again or what?
Yeah, I will do it again. The last trip I was there, I didn't really have the opportunity, but I'd love to go back. I was there in the winter for that one, and it is beautiful in the winter with the snow. I think it really adds to it. I would like to go and try that shot again in the winter. The challenge is cold. It can be bitterly cold there. So you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare your gear. You got to have extra batteries on you. You got to keep your batteries warm.
Right.
Yeah.
Hot chocolate on standby.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You got to be prepared for this condition.
I'm not a winter person in general. So, you know.
I know.
But I
wasn't there until I went there and I saw that scenery. I'm like, wow, like it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Stunning. Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah. You just got to kind of keep pushing yourself, right? And just kind of being exposed to like different things and just different situations, because you never know what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So and I saw you went to Japan. Was it this year, last year?
Yeah, it was in November. You did too.
I was just there. I was there in November in Osaka and Tokyo.
Yeah, we might have been there at the same time. I was there
Might have
from like
been.
November 17th to December 1st.
Okay, I just missed you.
Oh yeah?
You like it? Japan's so cool,
Yeah,
eh?
I love it. It's my third trip, and
Yeah, Japan's pretty rad.
I've been during cherry blossom season. In 2024, I
Yeah,
went by myself in the winter, which was also great. And then this
yeah,
time I took my dad, and
nice,
we did Miyajima Island. We did Hiroshima. I'd never been to
nice.
those places before.
Yeah,
Stunning. And then of course we did Kyoto. And like my father has to see Kyoto. It's
nice.
a beautiful
Yeah,
place. It was busy, busy this time.
yeah,
It's the busiest I've ever seen Japan. I don't know what your experience was this time.
yeah. It was
Did you
busy.
find
A
it?
lot of people.
Yeah, yeah,
Lot of people.
yeah. The
Yeah,
autumn
yeah,
leaves bring out the crowds, and like,
yeah, yeah,
of course, I mean, look at them. They're stunning. Like that
yeah.
red. I didn't have to manipulate this red.
That's how it was.
It really is that vibrant. It's just
Yeah,
yeah, stunning. And yeah, we did Tokyo. I did Osaka on my 2024 trip,
yeah,
and I had the most fun shooting ever, I think, in
yeah.
Osaka.
Osaka's so cool, eh?
What a city. I went to Haruka's 3000. It's the
Yeah, yeah,
observation deck. Did you go
yeah,
there?
yeah. I did.
I had some fun doing some long exposures from up there with the long lens. Oh, that was in February 2024. That was great. And what's wonderful about that place is they allowed tripods, right?
Beautiful
Which was,
to hear.
yeah, that real. Are you gonna get
Oh,
a
that's cool.
copyright strike
Yeah,
from
it's
the
fine.
music? Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
amazing city. Very
That's a great.
gritty.
It's a great city. I really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I find Japan, like no other place, will spark your creativity
I
for
think
my
so.
photography, my painting,
Yeah,
both.
yeah.
Yeah. It's it's like the lighting, it's like they kept photographers in mind. It's very cinematic. The lighting in the cities, like, don't you find?
Oh
It's
yeah, it's so
absolutely
like the
perfect.
lighting's so soft, so good.
Yeah. It's so soft, it's so inviting, and there's all these little moments, little vignettes in Japan, right?
It's the
There's
best
so
street.
many.
It's the best street. I got some really cool street stuff too when I was there. Just
Yeah,
normal people walking around, especially like even like on the subway too. Like I managed to get people on the subway. Just the greatest characters you'll ever see. It's
right?
like, oh my God. It's like this is a photo. Like I'm actually in the photo. Like that's how crazy it was.
It's incredible. It's
Yeah.
incredible. I
Yeah,
did
I
a
need to
bit
go
of
back.
street, photography in Japan. I don't do much street photography. My
Yeah.
shyness really gets the better of me. I'm so, like, nervous about being perceived with my camera and
Yeah.
people seeing me take pictures of them. I haven't learned yet how to be
Stealth
discreet
mode.
about
Stealth
it.
mode. Stealth mode.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough with the Fujifilm X-T5. One of the reasons why I bought the camera is I love the dials and
Right.
retro, that tactile feel, but it can also be a little bit fiddly. Like it's hard to just
Right.
be like quick snap this picture. Yeah, it's a little finicky. So I'm still trying to work my way around that and learn
Yeah.
how to be a good street photographer. Yeah.
Yeah, my friend has used Fuji forever. He's a lifer with Fuji, loves it. So
Mhm.
I get it. It is a cool camera.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in.
100%.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's such a different experience from Canon. I really appreciated Canon's the interface, like the menus, so good.
Yeah.
And the ergonomics of the Canon, especially for someone who's got small hands. Like that was
Right.
such an important part of me buying my first camera. I was going around to the different
You
booths at
gotta
the show.
hold it. You gotta feel
I
it.
gotta hold it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. That's just like in general advice is like just don't buy online without actually holding the camera.
yeah,
Like you
exactly.
gotta actually feel it in your hand and see if it's actually a good fit because who knows, right?
Exactly. Your gear, you want to try to remove as many limitations in your gear as possible because your goal is to use it as much as you can. So you have to think about what those limitations are.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, like form factor is a big one. It's the reason why I decided not to go with full frame because for years I had it in my head and like, oh, your next step up has to be full frame. And then when it
Mhm.
came time to buying the camera, I'm like, well, why does it need to be full frame? What am I trying to achieve here?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
really shooting portraits, so having a super shallow depth of field is not that important to me. And if I do want that, there are lenses that I can achieve that with. Like I have this
Yeah.
little retro manual focus, 35 millimeter 0.95. Super fun. You can get really shallow depth of focus, really artsy shots. So that's just fine. Am I shooting a lot of night photography? I love doing astrophotography, but let's be honest, every time there's like, something amazing happening, Southern Ontario, it's cloudy. So how many times a year am I actually getting out to shoot the auroras, to
Right.
shoot the stars? It's not that often. Is it worth the extra cost and weight of having a full frame camera? And the newer full frame cameras are actually not that large, the mirrorless ones. It's the glass you put on them
Oh yeah.
um, that
Of
can
course.
be quite bulky. So, taking that into consideration, how amazing the sensors are these days, like the technology's improved so much. Like the sensor on that XT5, it's really something. The even in low light conditions, like the grain has a very filmic quality.
Yeah.
And which is like miles above my other Canon. Like the grain on that was just the noise was noise, like it was banding and it was really hard even for like
Right.
Lightroom with the amazing noise reduction capabilities it has
Yeah.
now. It was really difficult for it to tackle that. But
Yeah.
yeah, with this Fuji sensor and the dynamic range is really impressive too. I can actually pull information out from highlights,
Right.
which is amazing. um,
Nice. Nice. Nice.
yeah,
And you also with the editing process too, eh?
yeah.
Process.
Yeah, yeah. The for editing, I use Lightroom mainly,
Yeah.
and I don't do too much editing. When I bought the X-T5, I know a lot of people who buy Fujifilm cameras. They buy them for the film recipes and they shoot JPEG, and it's straight out of camera is what they're looking to achieve. And
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy shooting that way that much because that process of putting the pictures into the computer and then opening up your laptop and putting them in Lightroom and seeing them on the screen and going through and making your little tweaks. Like I love that process. It's part of the whole, the artistic shebang.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't actually use those film recipes.
Mm.
I found them a little limiting because, once that's baked into the JPEG, that's it. But if I
Yeah.
shoot in RAW and then
Sure.
I can do whatever I want to it afterwards once I can see it a
Exactly.
little larger and consider, what I'm trying to express here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like having that versatility of shooting in RAW for sure.
Of course. Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's like why wouldn't someone want to shoot a raw? But each to their own kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Each to their own.
Yeah, for sure, a downside has been the amount of storage, extra storage space I
Oh
need
yeah.
now with like the 50 megapixel, whatever it is on the Fuji. It's like double what I had on my 77D.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so so that's been something. And also I have to shoot RAW plus JPEG because I'm on a Mac
Yeah.
and the Macs still don't render thumbnails for Fuji RAW
Mm.
files. They do for Canon, but not for Fuji.
It's
So in
criminal.
order for me to see what I actually shot, I need to have the JPEG beside it
Jeez.
in the
It's
folder.
2026. Like, what's going on?
It's bizarre. It's
What's
really
happening?
strange.
What's going on? Well,
Even my Tamron lens, that 18 to 300, it's not a new lens, been around for a while. There's
yeah.
no profile for it in Lightroom yet,
No.
which is really
Interesting.
frustrating because I can't
Strange.
remember. Yeah, there's a focal length where you get some like pretty gnarly vignetting, and
Yeah.
there's no there's no lens settings to get rid of it. So like I kind
Wow.
of have to try to get rid of it manually, which is tedious and not always possible if you have like a lot of stuff going on, detail in the corners. So
Come on, Adobe. We're paying you
Adobe,
for a reason.
Apple, both of you, what are you doing? Yeah, let's get on
Wow,
it.
eh? Wow. Yeah, I mean it is the artist grind, isn't it? You know, between painting and doing photos and but at the end it's all like therapy too, right?
Mhm.
At the end it's really just therapy,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Yeah, the I had a really good painting session on Saturday morning. I really
Yeah.
got into that flow state, which
Oh yeah.
as I've gotten older has become more difficult. When you're a kid, like I would just
Yeah.
be able to sit in front of a canvas all weekend. No breaks. I wasn't hungry. I forgot food existed. Who cares? You know,
Yeah.
you're just in that zone and you're channeling something. It's like a spiritual experience and you're just getting it out onto the canvas. And as you get older, and you have responsibilities and obligations and things you're
Yeah.
worried about, that can be really challenging to get into that flow state. But yeah, I had a good like 3 hour painting session on
Wow.
Saturday.
What'd you paint?
I'm working on a painting that's based on a photograph that I took this photograph in 2011, and I was
Really?
through old pictures and I found it and I took it on my old cell phone, it was probably like what my iPhone 3GS back
Yeah.
then. And
Yeah.
there was a beautiful sunset and I was in a moving car and I took the picture. It was an intersection up in Maple and the sunset's really beautiful, but because the car was moving, like there's the lights are shifted so you get that like movement. I'm like I'd really like to tackle this as a painting.
Really?
And yeah, it's funny because I take, I try to take beautiful photographs and then people are like, "Oh, that's such a beautiful shot. You should paint that." And I'm like, the shots that I actually like to paint are the ones that aren't perfect. They're the ones that I take with my phone camera that I don't intend for them to be portfolio pieces. It's those ones that are blurry or have a lot of chromatic aberrations and
Yeah.
lens flares. Like that's what I think makes a compelling painting. And
Mm.
it gives me a chance to, because I took a picture of that scene for a reason. I thought it was beautiful and I wanted to remember it. And technically, the photograph as a photograph is not very good, but as an image, it's compelling.
Yeah.
So I can use painting then to, create that,
Yeah.
create that piece. And yeah, I really enjoy doing that. I love painting from dash cam footage too. I have a dash
Really? Interesting.
and yeah, it's great.
Interesting.
I
Dash cam
love,
footage.
yeah, it's grainy and it's blurry and it's not very good and it's distorted because of the wide angle. And I love those distortions. I love painting with that. It's actually, as
Huh.
someone who likes to paint more impressionistic style,
Yeah.
and not get lost in the details too much. Yeah, shooting from like a poor quality phone or dash cam is actually very helpful because it
Uh,
automatically kind of eliminates those details and it
right.
just gives me a chance to focus on what was the feeling here, what's the
Yeah.
atmosphere, what
Interesting.
I want the viewer to feel what I felt when I was
Yeah.
experiencing it for myself.
Yeah.
So
It's almost
yeah,
like you're capturing like a second in time versus sort of setting up for a shot.
yeah,
Like taking something quick with your phone is more of just like a fraction of a second of a piece of a day. So is that because it's like more like real life versus just like setting up for a shot and you're there for like half a day or something? Maybe it's more of like real life kind of thing. And maybe that's why
exactly.
I'd see them more in the painting kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, there's less when you're setting up for your to take a really good, technically sound photograph, maybe you're setting up a tripod, maybe you're putting filters on, like there's all
Yeah.
these things that go into it. It's a lot of intention and
Right.
there's a lot of time that goes into that. And then with our cell phones, you know, amazing technology we have, like in our pockets, something is happening in front of you, you can immediately respond to it and have
Yeah.
something right there to work from.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I think I, I love that we have the amazing photographic capabilities of cell phones now. And I
yeah.
know, I think you just interviewed someone who only uses their iPhone to
Yeah.
take amazing photos.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
To me, it's like make stuff that you're happy with,
Hmm.
because otherwise, if you're just doing it for the validation of others, it's not going to go well long term.
Yeah,
If you're not actually happy with what you're doing, I think that's why I've said it before, but I think that's why people just lose interest, is because it's
yeah,
art, right? So like art is personal, like you said, it's emotional, like it's supposed to be for you, right?
exactly.
But I think sometimes we lose that in the social media world of
Mm.
like we kind of lose the personal aspect of making things.
Oh, for sure. And you know, I've been on Instagram a while now. It's a long time. And I've seen the changes, right? Back in the day, you could get so many likes on a photo, and so many people would see your stuff. Your friends would see your stuff in their feed. That's another thing. Like these days, I'm like, I miss so
Right.
many posts of my own friends because I'm seeing recommended
Yeah.
ads and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, some of my posts like hardly get any views nowadays. I am finding threads though a lot more
Right.
effective for reach than Instagram.
Yeah.
But what Instagram's become to me now is my own little journal. It's for
Yeah.
me, it's
It's
a
like a
way to
diary almost.
document the places I've gone and the things I've done. And I love going through it and looking back. I'm like, oh yeah, this trip and that shot I took, I loved that shot, and that was an amazing moment. And then the stories and the highlight reel and going back, and it's like a little diary that I can go back on. And yeah, I think if you're focusing on creating just for an algorithm, you're really limiting your scope. So I try
Yeah.
not to think about those kinds of things. It's so hard to get your stuff seen online now. It's just so oversaturated.
Yeah.
You kind of got to pay to play.
Right.
You know, and if you can do that, if you can spend money on ads, that's great. But I've been finding, you know, doing art markets. So I'll do that once or
Right.
twice a year, and you
Cool.
know, I'll sell paintings, prints of my
Nice.
photography. Occasionally, you know, I get somebody who goes on my website and they're like, "Oh, can I get this print? Can I get?" So, yeah, that's been great. It's been really nice to connect with people in person.
It's a totally
Um,
different experience, isn't it? Versus just
yeah,
talking online.
yeah,
It's a
for
totally different
sure,
experience.
for sure. I'm
Wow.
When I was fresh out of university, I did some gallery shows, and I was hoping to, you know, continue to do that and make some connections that way. And I found the gallery circuit to be quite stuffy and elitist, and it
Mhm.
wasn't really the direction that I wanted to go in.
Um,
um, I don't know, other artists are watching or listening right now. You know that a
yeah.
lot of galleries, they'll have like call for submissions
Right.
for
Yeah.
specific themes, right?
Yeah.
So your work has to fit this specific theme. It's like, okay, well, what are the chances that you already have a body of work that fits
Mhm.
this theme? You're going to be making a whole new body of work just to submit to this gallery, and they may not even accept your work, right? And often there's a fee just to apply, and you know there's a lot of limitations on artists to get our work out there. It can be
Yeah.
pretty challenging. And yeah,
Sucks.
yeah, it really it does. I don't know any other profession where like you have to pay to play so much. It's like why are we paying to
Yeah.
be involved in something, you know?
Right.
We
Right.
always have
Yeah.
to put up resources, whether time or money, to make sure our stuff gets seen. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's really challenging. But there are good opportunities. I've enjoyed, I haven't participated in the past year because I have a good problem. I did run out of a body of work. I did sell most of my stuff, and now I'm making a whole new body of work to sell. But the Toronto Art Crawl
Yeah,
is a great
yeah,
event. They have several events throughout the year. They've been doing this a long time. They're very supportive to artists of all kinds. The fee to participate is not too steep. It's much more reasonable than some other shows. So yeah, they're really great. Yeah,
wow,
yeah, I would recommend to new artists, like, don't just focus on the online. Get out into your local community and see what's going on, see what
yeah,
opportunities are there. Especially small towns are great. Like, they have lots of these little small events, there's small galleries, and you could really build a community, and get people
interesting.
interested in your stuff, and then get those people that you meet in person, get them online, and they'll follow you and they'll keep
Yeah,
seeing what
yeah.
you're making. And yeah,
Ah. Is there like a website for this stuff that you go to that kind of
yeah,
collects it?
there's yeah, you can go to see like different calls of submissions and events going on. It's called Akimbo. It's Canadian.
Akimbo?
Aimbo. They've been around forever. And yeah, they're Canadian, and you can search your local area and see like what calls of submissions, what art markets are coming up that you can apply for. So that one's really
Okay,
good.
cool.
Yeah, even just
Good to know.
pursuing like looking through Eventbrite, seeing what
Eventbrite,
events are
yeah,
going on in
yeah,
my
yeah,
community, and maybe, oh, you've missed the call for entry for this year, but then
yeah,
I do pop it in my calendar for next year. I'm like, okay, this show actually looks good. I'm going to head out to this market. I'm going to take a look, see what other people are selling, see what's going on, and
yeah,
maybe keep this in mind for next year, right? And talking to some of the artists, and seeing how
yeah.
they've been doing, what their sales are like. Yeah. Yeah.
There's gotta be so much like spring, summertime, fall time.
Yeah.
There has to be so much out
Toronto.
there.
Yeah. Toronto's great in the summer. Lots of arts events get going on. The Rosedale has an art fair. There's the Toronto Outdoor Art Market and Nathan Phillips Square. Lots of painters and
Yeah,
photographers participate in that
yeah,
one. Of course, Toronto Art Crawl has a few events. Yeah, lots going on. But yeah, even if you're not in a big city like Toronto, like I've talked to some artists that they live in smaller towns. They're like, honestly, the opportunities in smaller towns have been better than in the city,
interesting,
because the
interesting.
city is just like, it is oversaturated. And there's a lot of high art galleries in Toronto that
Yeah,
it depends on the work you're creating. Like, I like to make accessible art. Like, I want people of all socioeconomic backgrounds to be able to enjoy what I create. So I used to create bigger pieces, because in university, they kept telling us, no, you got to create big, contemporary art. You need big canvases. They're making us students spend hundreds of dollars on a canvas for one assignment. It was ridiculous. In retrospect, thinking back, like,
yeah,
this is insane. They
yeah,
made us do this.
yeah,
But
strange.
but yeah, I started to work smaller because there's a barrier there. Large canvases are expensive. Large photographic prints are very expensive to get printed, and then you have to price it accordingly. It's not just about the print, it's the work that you did to create this piece, right? And that could be very prohibitive. So when you're selling at little markets like this, you have to keep that in mind. It's like, okay, who's actually shopping here? You want to create for the customer.
Right, right,
You want to
yeah,
create something that's accessible. So
yeah,
I try to stay on the smaller side and make sure nothing's more than about $350. I've sold some like uh, postcards, some greeting cards of my photography. That's really great at Christmas, putting your
yeah,
photographs on greeting
yeah,
cards, and then I donate a
yeah,
portion to charity.
nice.
Painting little small canvases and making like magnets, stuff like that, making your art accessible. I like to get these
Well,
pillows
that's
printed.
clever. That's
Yeah,
clever.
paintings on cushions, right?
That's
People love.
cool.
I put some of my photographs of Toronto on cushions too. People loved that stuff. These I get printed as a supplier in Montreal. Um,
That's
so yeah,
super
thinking
cool.
about how to make, if your goal is to get as many people to enjoy your art as possible, thinking about creative ways of doing that and thinking about who your target customer is.
Well, that's important to know. Yeah, exactly. Especially if you want to sell stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have this massive painting. It's like I can't fit that into my car,
Oh,
man.
no, yeah, I've been there before. That's in university, like, the stuff that it was
Yeah,
crazy. We
it's
were
wild.
massive, like, 6 foot by 8 feet canvases, and you would just see us art students. We were like, uh, it's like a sail, right? We're in the wind trying to carry these things to
I'm
school
like,
off the bus, like,
so
it's just
funny.
because
That's
they
so
made us
funny.
paint
That's
large.
so yeah,
Yeah,
it's so
contemporary
strange.
art.
It's also like so like I don't know. It's not like a really an art. It's not really like an artist thing because like you're telling someone what to do versus I'm an artist, man. I do what I'm gonna do. You know, this ain't
Exactly.
an
I
office job. Like I'm an artist. I will do what I want to do and make it
Yeah.
happen, right?
Yeah, and to anyone who's
So
listening who's maybe considering post-secondary education in the
yeah,
arts, that is something to consider. I mean, I was in university now, it's 20 years ago.
yeah.
Things may have changed, but from what I hear, not so much.
Mhm.
I got into OCAD as well, the Ontario College of Art and Design. I decided to go to York because I was interested in many subjects, not just art, and York had a more multidisciplinary
Okay.
curriculum. There was just I could do social studies, I could do science, I could do whatever I wanted as well. At the time, OCAD didn't have that. But what York lacked was that practical education.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
key, man. Yeah,
yeah, it can't just be theoretical when you're in the
yeah,
studio. It that was really lacking, and it was very limiting as well because you have a professor who does art a certain way, and then they're telling you to do art a certain way,
yeah. It's just
and
a
then
weird thing.
yeah, and you don't have the technical know-how to kind of
Yeah,
develop your own style.
right.
And yeah, it was very limiting. And it was after I graduated, it was a very confusing time. I didn't know what I wanted to express anymore because what I was expressing, I was told, I remember by one of my drawing teachers, she actually told me, she's like, this is too pretty. I want to see you push the material in a different direction. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that
Yeah,
information, but yeah, that I didn't want that to be my approach. But in order to get through school, I did
yeah,
have to change things around. I mean, it did get me. University did open up my mind. It made me think about things more conceptually, and it did push me. I did some very personal photographic projects in university that I wouldn't otherwise have done. So
right.
I'm glad for that experience. But yeah, if you're considering pursuing arts post-secondary, really think about what you're trying to achieve. If it's a
Mhm.
practical education with a lot of technical hands-on learning, college would probably be your
Yeah,
best bet. And
right.
in my time, I graduated high school in 2004. University at the time was just being shoved down all of our throats. Like university, that's the
Yeah,
higher education. You need to go to
yeah,
university, and
yeah.
college was kind of down here.
Right. Not
I don't
anymore,
know.
though. Not
No,
anymore. I don't think so at all.
it should have never been that way. They're two totally
Yeah,
different things. And
yeah,
honestly, I think I would have been better served by going to college
yeah.
for
Right.
what I was trying to achieve. So yeah, yeah, really think about what you want to achieve with your own art. And we're so lucky nowadays. Like the internet's got so much information. You can find out anything you want to about a program you're thinking about. You can go on Reddit and see what other people are
Yeah.
talking about and what their experience has been. So yeah. Yeah, don't end up in a situation like I did, where then you come out of university feeling so confused that it almost makes you not want to pick up the camera or
Oh,
brush ever again.
jeez. Jeez.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, also the world has changed so much in the past 20 years too, you know?
Mhm.
Like I was thinking that the other day, like, man, like in the past 20 to 25 years, like the world is so different in terms of just like,
Yeah.
work and like obviously social media and like how people interact with each other. Like you ever like I like sometimes I watch movies that were shot in like 2008. It's like it's like the it's like the prehistoric times, you know? Like, my god,
Right?
like, they're using a phone like that, like, what's going on?
It's like a different
It's so weird, and that's like 2008.
I know.
So, like, yeah, I
Things
was
have
just thinking that it's
changed.
like it's such a different world now, you know? So and now you
The
got
acceleration, yeah, of
yeah,
change.
like, just super quickly now you got, like, AI and stuff, right? So it's just like,
Yeah,
man, like yeah, just thinking that the other day, it's like, wow, the world is so different. You know,
so
it's like you could just go to school off freaking Chat GPT now at this rate. Like, you know what I mean?
right, it's yeah,
Crazy.
with AI, I mean, AI isn't new. And in terms of photography, I mean, we've been using AI technology for years. Like, for example, noise reduction,
Yeah,
that's AI.
yeah,
The generative fills and whatever, that's AI. That's been around for a long time. But now we have AI technology that's completely
yeah,
mimicking real life to the point where we can't distinguish between the two, which is
yeah.
incredibly dangerous. And I've seen accomplished photographers posting completely AI generated images and not even
Wow.
disclosing that
Yeah,
it's
that's
AI.
wrong. That's wrong. You
I
gotta
think that's
disclose.
wrong.
You
And I
gotta
think
disclose.
that's so degrading to their
Yeah,
practice because they are accomplished photographers. They have been for
yeah,
years. And I find it very puzzling that they would take that approach. I mean, my issue with AI, well, I have a few issues with it. I mean, the environmental impact is one of them,
yeah, of
but
course.
an AI generated image is using the images of lots of other artists without their permission to
Yep.
create to create a new image.
Yeah.
And I personally have no interest in consuming AI art.
Well,
I
it's not
don't
really art though. It's not really
it's
art
not
though.
yeah, it's not art. You don't there's no
No,
connection to it. I
it's
have
not
no
art.
emotional connection to this piece
Yeah.
whatsoever. I don't see the the joy of looking at paintings and photography is thinking about, okay, what was the artist thinking at this time? What were they considering? Why did they make this choice? And having that human factor is just completely eliminated from the equation. I just find very unsettling, and
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed to see how prolific it has become. I'm disappointed to see how the technology is getting better and it's becoming harder to distinguish, but we're still at the point where you can tell an image is AI generated usually, and how many people
Yeah.
are fooled by it. It's just
Lots of people.
yeah, that I
Lots.
find astonishing. And, how do we protect ourselves from this? What's the answer? Is it government regulation? Like, I don't know what the answer is, right?
Yeah,
I don't
for
know if
sure.
anybody knows what the answer is,
Gotta ask Elon. We gotta ask Elon
Yeah.
what the answer is.
Yeah.
We gotta call him up. So what's going on over here?
Yeah.
Well, it's scary because like all their stuff is out there online, right? So they're taking stuff
Mhm.
off me, they're taking stuff off you. There's mishmashing stuff. Like it's all out there, right? So
I know. Yeah. Before
you
I
know,
just had to worry about other Instagram accounts stealing my stuff and reposting as their own, which has happened to me a
yeah,
few times
that's
that I've
that's
caught.
unfortunate.
That I've caught. Who knows the
Yeah,
ones that I haven't caught, right?
so crazy.
But now we have, the computer is taking all of our work and
The computer
putting
is
it
the enemy of the artist.
yeah, it's the friend and the enemy, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It's
Yeah.
just yeah, like you said, art. It's art. Like you said, it's emotional, and computer doesn't have emotions, so
Yep.
it's not really art, right? But yeah, I mean, someone were to use AI, you should probably just not should like you need to disclose this is what's going on. Otherwise, like your whole reputation's at risk,
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
right?
I find it very confusing that you would hurt your reputation by not disclosing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the photography space. I think we
Yeah.
might see a swing back. You know what happens when any technology comes out? When digital media started to become a thing, and then Photoshop and Lightroom, and it's like, oh wow, look
Right.
how powerful these tools are, look what you can do, look at the manipulations you can do. And then that
Yeah.
aesthetic became about showing those, highlighting those manipulations. It's like, look at how talented I am in Photoshop, look what I was able to do with this. And then now we have AI, which is like push that to a whole other level. It's like, wow, I just have to enter a prompt and this image will be
Yeah.
generated. And
Yeah.
now I'm seeing that pushback, from not just artists, but from people who are like, you know what, I don't want to consume computer generated art. I want authenticity. So
Yeah.
we may see a swing back to really like rudimentary, straight out of camera.
Yeah, well, I think that's why film was back too, in a way,
Yeah, exactly.
because
Exactly.
they want that film experience, right? So,
Yeah, down to earth photography. And I'm not
yeah.
saying like using Lightroom and stuff is like I don't agree with people who are like, oh, that's cheating. It's like, no,
Hmm.
because Lightroom is
Yeah.
the dark room. What
Yeah.
were we doing in the dark room? We were doing photo
Yeah.
manipulation in the dark room.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We were blocking off areas, dodging, burning,
yeah,
making things big. We were doing all that kind of stuff in the dark room. They've been doing that for eons in film.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's what is our threshold for, what do we consider as being an authentic expression
Mhm.
of self, and what is actually being expressed from a computer, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
fi- and finding that balance.
It's gonna be a
Um,
hell of a movie. That's all I know.
yeah, for
It's gonna be
real.
Will Smith, I Am Legend 4, I think, or something like
Yeah, yeah,
that. But it's gonna be Will Smith trying it's gonna be Will Smith in front of the computer using Lightroom.
yeah, yeah,
That's what it's gonna be like.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. It's gonna happen, I'm telling you, but yeah, it's not like the thing like with AI, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna get crazier and crazier. So, I mean, I don't know. We shall see what happens, but
yeah. We shall
you can
see.
really go down the rabbit hole with that stuff about like conspiracy theories and all these crazy wacky stuff. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
it's a whole other thing. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
So do you like use yoga to like get away from all this madness?
Yes, yes. I love teaching yoga. It's like
Get
an
away.
hour a week where I'm forced to forget about all of it,
Just
and
get, yeah,
and teach my class, and get my students into a flow state. That's
yeah,
my goal. I'm like, we need to get them relaxed and not thinking about this stuff either. I take that very
yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
That's especially nowadays, it's really important that we have an outlet to disconnect.
I think
Um,
so.
yeah.
I did yoga for a while, like just before
Mm,
COVID, 2019. In
mhm.
2019, I did yoga for a bit. It was interesting. It was cool. I mean, yeah, and then COVID happened, so so it all shut down. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely it's definitely work, but not work once you kind of, like I said, just being consistent with it. Like you just kind of
Mhm.
get into like that rhythm,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, yoga is the first time I did yoga when I was like a teenager, I hated it. And I didn't get back into the practice until I was in my early 20s, I believe.
Yeah,
And yeah, I've been ebbed and flowed from yoga, but yoga has helped inform my artistic practice as well.
sure.
Yoga isn't just about the asana, which is like the poses. It's the
Yeah,
postures, it's the exercise. And in the Western world, yoga is very exercise, but really
yeah.
it's a holistic body, mind, spiritual practice. And
Mm.
yeah, engaging in yoga helps me get into that flow state when I'm painting, when I'm taking photographs. So they all work together. And I've taught yoga and art workshops where we combine the two
Oh,
uh,
really?
for stress relief. And those are great. Yeah, people love those.
Oh,
So,
so you do yoga and then art, or vice
yeah,
versa? Oh,
yeah, we do like a little restorative practice or a gentle vinyasa flow. And then we do some meditative art activities after. And it's been a
oh,
while
cool.
since I've taught one actually because the studio that I was using, they shut down during COVID. and they never reopened. And
Yeah.
my area is now void of yoga. They're gone. They're all
Oh,
gone.
man. So
And
sad.
yeah, because you need the equipment, right? What's great about the yoga studios, they let you rent the space for your workshops. They have all the equipment there. I just have to bring the art supplies, but they have all the yoga equipment.
Awesome.
Um, so yeah, I'm looking for looking for a studio in North York.
Looking for a studio in North York, eh?
Yeah,
Okay. Gotta put out
I
there
haven't
in the
done
universe.
yeah, I haven't done yoga and photography combined yet. It's been like
Combined.
yoga and drawing, but
Yeah.
yoga
I don't
and
know. I feel like yoga and drawing's more suited together though.
yeah, I mean, especially in the like in a studio setting. But
Yeah.
maybe like in the summer I teach yoga at Downsview Park outdoors. So that might be an
Oh, cool.
interesting little workshop we can do. Bit of wildlife
Interesting.
photography and then a yoga asana practice or
Yeah.
vice versa. Do a bit of yoga and then we head out
Yeah.
into the woods to photograph
That's
migratory
cool.
birds, maybe run away from a coyote and lots of
Yeah.
coyotes in the park lately.
Being
So
chased by a being chased by a
shoot
coyote
by
as
a
you do your
coyote
poses.
after your nice Zen practice. Like,
You know you're in Zen when. Like
yeah,
you know you're doing it right when. That's the
yeah,
ultimate test. I'm just
yeah,
testing you guys. I'm just testing you guys. That's it. Oh my God, that's so funny. Well, that's cool. I think people are I think that's a pretty cool thing to do actually.
yeah. It's
Because
great.
I'm not sure who else is doing that kind of stuff, you know, like to like combine things.
Yeah, my one of my first painting teachers, her name's Tiziana. She actually she had a studio as well. She shut it down, but she teaches yoga and art as well, and she's combined those very successfully. And she does workshops up in King City, and she's great.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. So yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, cool. I think you always get really good ideas when you're not doing the thing. When you're
Hmm.
doing something else, you get the idea for like the other thing.
Yes,
It's always when you're not putting so much pressure on yourself to like think of something or do something. It's
that's so true.
not
And I was
don't. You know?
yeah, and I would say on that, piggybacking on that, um, what I'm trying to do now is to be online less,
Yeah,
stop consuming so much
yeah,
art and creating more of it and giving myself time to just sit in quiet
yeah. So
without a
strange, isn't
screen
it?
on.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah, I'm like, why
Don't
is
you
this
feel
strange?
weird?
This used
Don't,
to be normal life.
don't you
We
feel
need
weird to like look at something?
Yeah, right? Like
You
it's
feel
crazy. We need to give ourselves an opportunity to be bored because that's when we come up with our ideas. That's when
yeah.
creativity happens. That's when imagination gets stirred.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I
that's what
met
I'm doing more of.
I met someone just before COVID and he was telling me he was on YouTube, he was telling me um he goes, Paul, just be bored like all the time. And
Mhm,
I didn't know what he meant. I'm like, what do you mean be bored? Like, shouldn't I be doing something? He's like, no, man, just be bored. Trust me. That's when you're
mhm,
gonna get the good stuff. And it only took me like a few years later to understand, oh, that's what he meant.
mhm.
He's like,
Yeah,
no, man, I love being bored, man. It's the greatest thing.
it is.
Uh,
Yeah, it is.
interesting.
I'm grateful to my parents who they always encourage my artistic practice. But I remember being a kid and going up to them like, "I'm bored," and they'd be like,
Yeah.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
so what do you want me to do about it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Go figure it out." And I
Don't
would,
figure
and
it
I
out.
would come up with things to
Yeah.
draw or paint or build or
Yeah.
imagine. And I'm really glad I had that space to do that. And I know
Yeah.
childhood looks a little different nowadays because I've seen it. I don't think they're getting enough time for that boredom,
No, I don't think
so that
so.
their imaginations can stir. And we need that as kids and adults. We need less screen
Yeah.
time, less time with things in the ears, listening to things, and
Yeah.
more time for silence and solitude and just being out in nature, even in the winter. Bundle up, go sit in a forest in winter. It's so quiet and peaceful. It's cold, yes, but if you dress properly, it's lovely. And just
Yeah.
yeah, be alone with your thoughts, and that can be very uncomfortable.
Mm.
Not all thoughts are nice, but seeing what comes up from that, and
Yeah.
yeah, you never know what it'll
You
spark.
grow, that's how you grow. That's how you grow and change and try to figure yourself out and
Yeah,
see what's what, you know?
yeah, exactly.
Get away from the noise of it all. It's so
Yeah,
noisy. Out there.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, cool. That's probably a good spot to sign off. I'm not sure if you wanted to leave people with any advice or anything else that you want to leave people with, or
Um, I think I gave quite a bit of advice today.
it was a good TED
Hopefully,
talk. It was a good TED
hopefully
talk.
it
I liked it.
resonates with someone. But yeah, thank you for this. This was awesome. It was a lot of
Yeah.
fun to talk art and photography, and yeah, I look forward to watching more of your podcasts. It's great.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on, and yeah, there'll be lots more coming. And people watching and listening, go check out Tian. Her links are in the description of this podcast. And yeah, I'd love to have you back on someday.
Cool.
Maybe
Yeah.
live, maybe a live podcast doing yoga in the park as you're being chased by
Oh,
like
cool.
dogs.
Yeah, that would be
It might
great. That
it might get some views. It might get some views.
yeah, cool.
Cool. Everyone, thanks for watching and listening, wherever this thing is, and we shall see you next time. Peace.